gör oljud ifrån sig ibland.
Vadå för adapter?
Ja, men den där
Ja,
som jag sätter
ljudkortsgrejen.
mikrofonhörlurarna i. Ja,
Jaha.
som egentligen är till... Hör du nu?
Mm.
Ja, vad fan? Dö! Ja, skitsamma.
Ah, skitsamma.
Nu, oj. We're live!
Yes!
I missed it. But yes, we are live. Well, hello!
Hello!
And welcome. I'm talking to the audience. All 0 of them at the moment. Welcome back to Please Don't Livestream, formerly known as Please Don't Make a Podcast. And this is the Monday show. So today we're not going to talk about news. We're just going to talk about whatever we want, because that's the formula I'm going with. Fridays or Sundays, depending on, is the news show, and then on Mondays we talk about whatever. And today we're going to talk about bad movies and why we watch bad movies sometimes, and why we enjoy bad movies more than good movies sometimes. And with me, I have my resident expert on bad movies, or at least bad movies, Martin. You all know him from the chat.
Yes.
Say hello to the audience.
Yes, hello, the moderator.
Yes, the only guy in the chat so far.
Yes.
There has been a few other.
Yeah.
But,
the loneliest guy in the chat.
Yes, yes. Well, these live streams tend to get more views after the actual live stream, so I don't know. Just a quick question though: are you watching the stream right now?
Yeah, I'm watching it just to keep checks on the chat. Okay.
I actually. No, but I actually have the chat up now, because since I started the live stream, I have like a separate window. So you can keep watching if you want. I have it up,
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it up because sometimes if you're watching a live stream and you see that there's 0 people watching, you kind of get discouraged from watching. So if there's at least one person in watching, maybe. Yeah,
it's you could equate it to you got to spend money to make money, sort of the same thing.
Yeah,
we got to fool people to think there's actually someone watching.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing when you do like an event on Facebook. Even I always force my friends to click attend or attending, just because that will be like that will make more people say that they're going to attend.
Oh, okay.
Because nobody's going to attend a party with like free attending.
No, that's true.
An old tip from when I used to run clubs.
Then the question becomes ethical.
Yeah.
Is that? I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not illegal, but is it cool?
Well, I think the problem is here is that we have shitty friends who doesn't support each other.
Yeah, exactly. Talking to you, friends. I don't want to say any names.
I was kind of like, wait, is he going to name someone?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. No. Like I said, most people watch this after the live stream for some reason.
It's a bit more. Fuck, I lost the word.
It's a bit more convenient.
Yeah, convenient. Thank you.
Yeah, it is, because you can watch it whenever you feel like, instead of tuning in like in the old TV days. Yes, this is kind of regressive actually to do live streams. If we're gonna look at it as the new media, where you can watch it whenever you want. You can binge watch shows on Netflix because they release it all in one chunk, and YouTube shows they go up and then they stay up, so you can watch it whatever you want. But then people started live streaming, and all of a sudden you have to like keep time and be
Yeah,
there
but
at set time.
honestly, most live shows kind of suck.
So, thank you.
I said most. I wasn't specific.
I know.
Yeah, but
Um,
in my opinion, most live streams are pretty boring. I really like the concept, but there's like one or two that I really, really like, and the rest is like,
you've been watching wrong live streams, the live wrong
yeah.
streams.
Oh.
Well,
Um,
let's not try to make this boring. So let's just jump into
Yeah.
the subject of the evening. Bad movies.
Yes.
Just throwing it out there right at the beginning. Why do we watch bad movies? And I'm not talking like bad movies. Why do we watch these good movies? Movies that are so bad that they become fun. Why do we watch that? Well, I guess I just answered that question.
Do you mean us specifically, or like humankind?
No, I don't think we should speak for humankind here. But yeah, we could use us as an example. Why do we watch bad movies?
I don't know.
We do.
One, I can't remember whose quote this is, but when you watch a bad movie, fuck, I can't even remember the quote. So something like, when it's a bad movie, you can really appreciate the constructs of the movie in another way. You know, like, well, Ed Wood only had this to work with, and the script was written in. You tend to forgive bad movies and think more about the process of making the movie when you watch a bad movie. That's
yeah. It's easier to deconstruct a bad movie.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, and that's why probably most like a large chunk of like online reviewers tend to focus on bad movies or bad music or bad video games, because it is more fun to poke fun at bad stuff.
Yeah,
but,
like reviewing a good movie is, you can only say so much about a good movie.
Yeah, I agree.
But a bad movie.
Yeah, what I think that if you want it to be more entertaining, it's easier to talk about bad movies. I mean, if you just want to make it informative, it's equally as hard, I would say, to talk about good movies and bad movies.
Yeah.
But from a comedy standpoint, yes, bad stuff is much easier to talk about.
Yeah.
Also, especially since some people they become defensive when you say, "Oh, your stuff sucks," and no, it doesn't, and then you can like break them down by telling them why their stuff is bad, which a lot of comics do. So
yeah,
I think it stems from that.
And on that note about the process, when it's a movie that's so bad it's good, you can almost feel the director's drive in another way. This person really, really wanted to make a zombie movie, and he really wanted it to be good. I'm using he, but yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree, and that is also a distinction you have to make, because there are movies that are just bad, that are boring. Case in point, from quite recently, Transformers, the last Transformers. It wasn't really you couldn't really make fun of that movie. It was just bad, because say what you will about the movie, it
drags on and on.
Yes, it drags on and on. Yes, even though it's the shortest one, it felt like a fucking eternity to sit there, and it also, to some degree, it is competently made. I mean, they have.
There's money behind it.
Yes, there's money behind it. So it doesn't really matter nowadays. But the effects were good. Funnily enough, they're not better than they were in the older Transformers movie. They're actually worse now. But it's a it's a multi-million-dollar project, and it just falls apart in front of your eyes, and you're thinking, why? It's very cynical.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the greatest example I would say is either like Troll 2 or The Room, when a person really wants to make a good movie and think that he's making a good movie. And just can't see that what he's creating is just trash.
It's falling apart.
Yes, and that's almost like the that equation. What is tragedy plus time equals comedy? So that's almost what that becomes. You can look back at that movie and like, oh my god, what were they doing?
Yeah, but it's also funny that you mentioned that. But it's also you always root for an underdog. And Tommy Wiseau or Ed Wood, Claudio Fragassi in a way. They're underdogs.
I always forget. Yeah, in a way.
Fragasso, I think it is even. I have to check that out.
Claudio Fragasso. Yeah. I think so. I haven't watched that movie in years, and I'm not intending to.
Fragasso.
Yes, Claudio Fragasso was the guy that directed and wrote. No, he just directed, right?
No, his wife. Wrote it.
Oh, okay.
Because she was tired of her vegetarian friends.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, we should say, Claudio Fragasso, he directed Troll 2. One of the most infamous movies in cinema history, probably, for being bad.
One of the funniest movies I've ever seen. But I watched it. We've discussed this before, but I think you saw it in the wrong
environment.
Way. Yeah, wrong environment. Troll 2 is supposed to be watched by a couple of friends. You have to be like 3 people or more. Preferably a bit drunk, but it's not a...
it's not a prerequisite.
Yeah, exactly. That's the proper way of seeing that movie. Then it's one of the funniest movies ever. But you watched it with Christopher, right?
Yeah. What are you saying? He's boring?
Yeah. No.
No, but we watched it for all the right intents and purposes. We wanted to watch the best worst movie, as it's been called. But for me, I definitely see the comedy in its crappiness, and it is a very good example of that.
It's a very quotable movie as well.
But that movie is so bad that it's good. That I've seen it twice, and I think that's enough for me, because that movie is terrible.
In one way, though,
absolutely terrible.
In one way, though, you almost have to see the worst best movie, the documentary about it. You almost have to see that one first and then watch the movie.
Yeah, that helps definitely.
The movie gets like 10 times better, in my opinion.
Because that is a good deconstruction of what made the movie bad. It talks about like incompetent actors, the lack of structure behind the scenes, and all that, and you're like, oh, now I understand why it's so bad, and you can like laugh at it.
Yeah. And you also get more like sympathetic to it.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Well, for some people, when they talk to the director, he is totally disillusioned.
Yeah,
he just can't understand why people doesn't like Troll 2. I'm like, well, sir, you're an idiot.
Yeah, he's not a very likable guy.
No, exactly.
At least not in the documentary.
Oh,
that's always a thing. It could be edited to make him look like a douchebag, but I don't know.
No, yeah, exactly.
But he's not portrayed as a very nice guy in the documentary.
No, he seems a little pompous.
Yeah.
And I guess that adds to the hilarity.
Yeah,
that's why they did it, probably.
Yeah, because it's and that's another angle to it, because it's always funny to see someone is someone who is pompous or like douchey get what's coming to him or her.
Yeah, exactly.
So it works in two ways. Either you're sympathetic to the director, or you want him to fail, and it becomes funny because of that.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing about that, well, more about the documentary, The Best Worst Movie.
Yeah.
It came out in like 2000 and, what was it, 2010 or 2011?
Yeah, I think it was shot in like 2006.
Oh, okay.
But it made the runs in the festival circuit.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's independent movies. Probably took a few years.
I'm checking out here. Worst best movie.
I think it's Best Worst Movie.
Yeah. 2009.
2009 even. Okay. Yeah, and I think I saw it in 2010. I think I saw it with Christopher, because we watched both Troll 2 and Best Worst Movie in pretty rapid succession.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think because Christopher introduced me to it, so I think he found out about Troll 2 the same.
Yeah, because I remember seeing the trailer pretty early, like in 06 or 07.
Okay.
And I had heard the title of Troll 2.
Okay.
Because I'm a connoisseur of bad movies. So
yes, you are.
Fun fact for people watching this is that Tobias hates my movie collection.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah,
there are a few good good ones, but
he always when you're in when you're watching my collection, you always like sigh.
Yeah, but you have all these old just these bad B movies, like a bunch of zombie movies, and this what do you call this like occult trend that happened in the like early 70s? No, early 80s. The what do you call them? The one with Udo Kier, the ones about like blood for the Satan or whatever it's called.
blood for Dracula and the flesh for Frankenstein.
Yeah, now those the burning of witches in blah blah blah.
Oh, the witch exploitation movies.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is.
No, it's. I don't think that's the proper name. Is
no, but it is some form of exploitation.
Yeah, folk horror. It's called.
Okay.
Like Witchfinder General. I'm assuming you're thinking about those movies.
Yeah, Witchfinder General too, which is. I have to I don't know, I have to address the chat here. We have Osama bin Laden in the chat, and he wants me to say hi. Hi Osama. I thought you were dead, but okay. And we also have someone called Idiot Boy.
Hi.
I'm not sure if these are fans or if they just happen to find the stream, but welcome. You're welcome. Yes.
Maybe they're the biggest trolls.
Probably, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I like trolls to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So so you behave now, Osama. You behave. No blowing up buildings. Not in my stream.
Talking about Osama bin Laden and bad movies.
Talking about douchebags. What we? Oh yeah, bad movies.
Yeah, talking about Osama bin Laden and bad movies. Postal.
Oh yeah. That's one of those movies that is almost too bad.
We're talking about the crappy movies. Idiot boy.
Exactly. Hey, idiot! We're talking about bad movies. And Osama's saying I ain't dead yet. Okay. But yeah, we're talking about shitty movies and why we love shitty movies. And yeah, Postal. It feels like Postal was written and directed by Uwe Boll, who is. He's infamous for making bad movies.
He's also a connoisseur of bad movies.
Yeah, but he feels like he feels like his earlier movies, like before Postal, he didn't understand. I'm gonna minimize the chat. I'm gonna Keep laughing anyways. I'll come back to you, Osama. Okay. Like his movies, House of the Dead, and I actually own one of them. Wherever it is, or whatever. It's what's it called? Alone in the Dark.
Oh my God.
All of his video game movies
Yeah.
are just, you know, they're just terrible. They're just terrible. They're not even fun to watch sometimes. A few of them are. But then he found out that people watch his movies ironically. So he thought, oh, I get it. I get it. I make ironic movies. So he actually made an ironic movie with Postal, where he like made fun of himself and like tried to make a bad movie instead of actually trying to make a good movie. And when you actually try to make a bad movie, it just comes off as tacky.
Yeah. It's his
the
least
fun thing about a bad
movie. For sure.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he can't even make a bad movie.
It's kind of hard making a bad movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like intentionally.
Exactly, because it has to come organically. You have to actually try to make a movie, and it has to fail spectacularly, and you laugh at the disaster. That's why they're calling this biopic about Tommy Wiseau. They call it The Disaster Artist, because it makes sense. That's what we want. To try and make a bad movie, it's like, oh, we're gonna cash in on this, so bad it's a good thing. It usually just falls flat. Case in point, the Sharknado movies.
Yeah.
They knew that they were making a bad movie, because a lot of those shark exploitation movies usually end up pretty bad. Yeah, I think that is actually like
I love
a proper
that
subgenre though.
That's a thing.
Yeah, I watched a video today actually about it. So it's called like the 50 word.
Yeah, isn't that the Cinemassacre one? 50
Yeah,
words.
exactly. He updated his old video.
Yeah, 50 shitty shark movies. That's a tongue twister.
Exactly.
A told B and B told C hang a virgin from a coconut tree.
No.
Osama with the lyric of gold.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. Yes. Well, yeah. So the Sharknado movies, on this watching movies ironically thing. So they actually tried to make a bad movie with Sharknado, and I'll say that the first one is kind of funny, because they weren't trying as hard then. They were just gonna. Then it was just, oh, we're gonna make a bad movie. Oh, fine. Yeah, you made a bad movie. It's kind of funny because it is a tornado full of sharks. However, they then made 3 sequels, and a 4th one. Well, Sharknado 5 then is actually coming later this year. So, the joke is over.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them.
No, you don't really have to. I mean, the first one is passable as a bad good movie, but that's about it. Then they just become ridiculous. I mean, they go into space in the 4th one, I think, or if it's the 3rd one, and it's just, yeah, we get it. The joke is over. They should have followed the comedy rule of 3. They should have made 2 bad ones and then actually made a good one. Then it would have been funny.
Well,
nope.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's also a distinction you have to make. You can't like set out to make a bad movie, because then it's just going to be bad. It won't be funny. And
also I remembered talking about you want to watch like a douchey director fail, Uwe Boll.
Yeah. Yeah. He.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, the boxing matches?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was funny, because then it felt like he was trying to defend his movies. Like, no, they're actually good. I'll fight you. Fight me, faggot. That was kind of his stance on the whole thing, and that is kind of funny that he would actually defend his movies with violence. And it's like, dude, Uwe, your movies suck. Just like, oh, I'm gonna fight you.
That's how he sounds.
I don't know. No, he's yeah. Oh, I'm bad. I'm bad. I can't really.
He sounds like
He
the Nazi guy from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
yeah, he kind of does. He has a bit of a ratty kind of nasally voice. It's like, I found my movies with Nazi gold. That's about how he sounds, actually. I guess it's a
Yeah.
little gravelier, but it's more fun like this.
Or like this.
I don't know.
Yeah. Uwe Boll, what a hero.
Oh,
Did you
and
see the
that is
trailer
actually
for his Holocaust movie?
no.
Have
What is he
you
gonna
haven't
make a
seen
serious
that?
movie?
Yeah, he
I'm
he
going to
made
make
it
a
a couple of
serious movie.
yeah, that he made
It's
a like a
it's about my ancestors. They were guards at Auschwitz. Bad move.
you haven't seen this?
No,
He
I.
did like a teaser. It's called Auschwitz.
Oh my god.
And
No.
he's in the teaser trailer playing a guard.
Of course he is.
I'm sending it to you via
Yeah, I'll
Facebook.
watch it later, but
Yeah, I'll watch it later, but it's horrible.
I mean, if you're gonna make a movie about the Holocaust, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to. You're gonna. How should I say this? You got to be a lot more tactful and a lot more talented than Uwe Boll is. Spielberg pulled it off with Schindler's List, but because he was very, very respectful. I do not think Uwe Boll.
I think there's two ways to make a Holocaust movie. Either you make it very respectful and like Schindler's List, or you make it a total comedy. Auschwitz, the musical.
Well, yeah, I would probably like that, but I don't think that would play well in cinemas, actually. I don't think people would see the joke.
Of course it
we
wouldn't.
Probably would, but
yeah. But I'm saying there's more ways to.
Well, yeah, there's always two ways to make a movie,
Yeah.
But I'm just, I'm against political correctness, but I think the Holocaust, you got to be a little careful with it, at least a little bit careful.
Yeah, of course, it's horrible and it's not funny.
Although some people, yes, and people do argue that it never happened. So who knows?
That's so fucking dumb, though.
Hey, Osama, do you think the Holocaust happened? Let's see what he says.
Yeah, they're talking about child porn at the moment.
Oh, okay. Well, oh, I haven't watched the chat in a while. Oh. Hey.
It's pretty horrible, the chat room at the moment. So
yeah. Well,
let's just keep talking and let them handle the chat room.
Yes.
I think that they're in a deep conversation.
Yeah. Well, we're all about deep conversations here. So let's keep talking about shitty movies. Well, yeah. Why? Let's talk about why we decided to talk about this in the stream. You want to?
Yeah, segue into. Yes, I'm thinking about starting a podcast in Swedish called Skräp, which is Swedish for trash. And the whole thing is basically, like talking about bad movies as we are now. We watch a couple of bad movies and review them, basically, and talk about why they're bad, what you could have done to make the movie better, what could have made it worse, and so on and so on.
Yeah, but I wasn't actually thinking about that. I was just thinking about that we watched a couple of bad movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought we were gonna bring that up a little later. But hey, it's live.
I just gotta say that Adolf Hitler is in the chat room right now.
No way!
No way. Way.
It's a regular. Hey, who's talking? Well, we did mention the Holocaust. I guess he woke up. This is great.
Yeah.
Dude, you have Hitler and Bin Laden in your chat. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I have a couple of big names in my chat. In some weird way, I'm a bit honored.
No.
For the wrong
The
reasons,
only
I
one
suppose.
missing now is PewDiePie.
Yeah. Yes. Bring on the arch-Nazi, please. Oh my God! If someone could DM PewDiePie, that would be amazing. So if anyone has that kind of pull, do it. Let's start talking about child porn again. Let's forget about the chat for a while. Yes, but we actually did watch a couple of bad movies the other day. We watched a couple of bad movies intentionally, which we haven't done in a while. I think we have been watching, movies we haven't seen before, and sometimes they've been bad and sometimes they've been good. But it was
Mostly good.
Yeah, mostly good. But there was this Saturday we actually sat down and watched two movies that we more or less knew they were going to be bad, even though we hadn't seen them before.
From my personal collection.
Yeah, exactly. So we knew they were going to be bad.
Yeah.
And we watched one movie called Nemesis.
Yes.
It had some sort of subtitle, right?
Yeah, in Swedish it was Den yttersta hämnden.
It was probably like the ultimate revenge. You know what? I think that's actually like the Swedish title for it. Probably. Yeah. It's probably just called Nemesis.
Yeah,
and Nemesis.
Yeah.
IMDb.
Yeah.
It just says Nemesis. Yeah. Exactly.
It was this. I just found out that there's at least 3 sequels.
No way. Okay, well, movie night.
Yeah, I gotta. Nemesis
we gotta find
2,
those.
Nebula, and Nemesis 4, Death Angel.
Oh my God! Well, let's talk about Nemesis and why we kind of enjoyed it. It was this. First of all, it was an action movie, which always helps because even if the movie sucks, you can at least be distracted by the explosions and the gunfights.
And there were many explosions.
Yes, there were like bursts of explosions, and then there were like long quiet stretches, and then it was just everything was exploding again, and there were long quiet stretch. But I wanted to it was like a mashup of Blade Runner, a little bit of RoboCop, and then just a general like noir movie, like all mixed together with just terrible 90s fashion and a low budget. That's basically what that movie was. It was a ripoff of good movies.
Yeah, and the funny part about it was so obvious that the writer had read, Neuromancer, watched Blade Runner. There were so many references to cyberpunk stuff.
Yeah, and
I love cyberpunk. It's cool.
Yeah, I do like cyberpunk, but more in, I guess I like it more in an ironic way, because of like what's it called? Neotech. It's a Swedish tabletop role-playing game. That is like a neo noir or a cyberpunk role-playing game.
Yeah, and
it is kind of cynical, kind of ironic, or satirical, I should say.
Yeah.
So that's how I like my cyberpunk. So this movie really, I really enjoyed it, but for the wrong reasons. The cheesiness, the terrible dialogue, and the fact that the only good parts about this movie were the action scenes, because they were so over the top. I mean, the girl in the beginning that shot like mini nukes with her shotgun. It was just amazing to watch.
And when that tower fell, like a water tower.
Yeah, I think that was the same gun that the guy used later. He shot like 4 times at this. I think it was a smokestack, and it just fell apart and exploded. But that was actually kind of like legitimately exciting, because the stunt people were like in the rubble when it fell. That was just insane to watch. But let's use we'll talk about the next movie in a little while. Let's use Nemesis as an example. Why did we specifically enjoy Nemesis? What was it that made it a good bad movie?
Well, the fact that it was so over the top.
Yeah.
And the fact that the actors, it felt like none of the actors' first language was English.
A lot of
That's always funny.
Yeah, especially from the main guy. What was his name? Olivier Gruner.
And I'm not one to talk because my English isn't that good.
No,
but
we're not in a big budget action movie. Well, medium budget, I suppose.
Medium budget action movie. But yeah, those things, and also the general vibe of, you know, like we watched it on a VHS tape. That kind of adds to the vibe of watching a bad movie.
Yeah,
I almost prefer watching bad movies on VHS.
Yeah, because it feels like this is like a forgotten movie. It was never transferred to DVD because nobody actually liked it. So you get this shitty vibe right from the begining. I got to say though that
actually I'm gonna see if there is like a Blu-ray of Nemesis.
No, there's gonna be a DVD. I mean, it would not surprise me if someone like legitimately liked this movie. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I kind of liked it in a way. I liked it for what it is, a bad movie.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I think there are probably people out there that actually do genuinely like it. Say, it's good because, you know, the explosions were good and the guns were big and the girls were naked.
It's more the movie than you.
Yeah, exactly. So there's probably going to be a DVD somewhere. But I was going to say that it's either that, like watching it on an old VHS cassette, or if the movie is so bad that people actually care about it and have made it, you know, transferred it to DVD and then Blu-ray. Like I think they did with I think there is a Blu-ray of Troll 2. Like when it's so revered for its shittiness that it just keeps on like regenerating throughout the different medias. That is also like a good sign. Either that it's completely stopped at like VHS or Betamax, or that it has actually it's so revered for its shittiness that it goes on. That's the two. If it like stops in the middle somewhere, like we did a DVD, but it was a bad DVD, then it's like who cares?
Yeah,
it's the middle ground that is always the most boring.
Yeah, but to say, also speaking of boring, it was a pretty boring film.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
It wasn't the jackpot we were hoping for.
No, it wasn't hilarious all the way through. It had long stretches of just boring dialogue.
Yeah,
and that is the worst kind of bad movie, when it's just boring. It's not funny in any way. They're just sitting around and talking.
Like the movie we saw last week.
Oh yeah. We actually watched a bad movie last week. We watched a movie called 12 Feet Deep, and I know it sounds like a porn, but it was marketed as a horror movie.
Yeah. 12 Feet Deep, Trapped Sisters.
Yeah, I downloaded the movie. Yes, go Pirates. And
I would have been offended if you had paid for that.
Yeah, exactly. I like buying movies. I actually bought a lot of movies today, but I'm not gonna buy that movie. Sorry, filmmakers. I had to download it because we watched a trailer for it, and I was 100% sure that was a fake trailer, because it's about two sisters getting trapped in an Olympic swimming pool overnight. And like, how is that even a movie? But no, it was a real movie. It was on IMDb. I downloaded it. We watched it. And right from the beginning, I thought we were going to we were gonna see a future legend here, because not only was it called 12 Feet Deep, it had a subtitled Trapped Sisters. So that first of all, that just sounds even more like a porn. But it wasn't a porn. It was just a boring movie.
Wouldn't
It wasn't
better
hilarious.
was a porn.
Would have been a bit more awkward since you and your brother was there. But
Yeah.
if I'd watched it alone, it would have been perfect. I would have loved it. But no, it was just boring because I wouldn't even consider it a horror movie. It was more like a drama, like these two sisters like reconciling over their like dead father or something. I wasn't really paying attention, but there was something about that. Yeah, them overcoming the monsters, they were calling it. Yeah. And I'm like, what is this? Why did they sell this as a horror movie?
Why did they make this? Is a better question.
Yeah, exactly. Because there was no plot. It really had to stretch your imagination to like make up a like 79-minute movie or something. And it was just terrible.
Yeah, and that's also, it would have been better if there were crappier actresses.
Yeah, because they were kind of so and so.
Yeah, they were just
they weren't terrible.
They were fucking normies.
Yeah, they were the middle of the
super bland.
Exactly, they weren't super terrible and they weren't super good. So it was just a snooze fest all the way through.
Yeah,
and that's the kind of bad movie that you don't want to watch. When it's just boring, when it's kind of competently made, but nothing happens, then it's just boring. What you want is a movie that wants to be like competently made, but is just terrible at it. Yeah. That is what's funny. Yeah, it's almost like it's almost like sometimes you use laughter like a defense mechanism. If you're scared, you start laughing.
Yeah,
that's almost why you laugh at bad movies. You kind of have to defend yourself from all the shittiness.
Sometimes you can't, though. I'm referring to a movie that you bought for my brother, Aliens versus Alpha.
Oh yeah,
because I popped that into the Blu-ray player, also thinking this is going to be a masterpiece of a bad movie, but it was, I was in despair because it was so incompetent in all, like in. See, I even lost my.
Yeah, every aspect of it was bad.
Yeah, every aspect of it was so bad. So it was a pain to sit through that one. But I would like to watch it again with you, just because I think we would. Because I saw it with Sebastian. And he's Finnish, so he's always a bit melodramatic and negative. Because that's how people from Finland are.
Yeah, mostly.
So I think we need to watch that one again.
Yeah, and I actually I've never watched the whole thing. I just bought it for your brother and you, hoping that you would watch it. I had no intentions of watching it myself, actually. But yeah, I guess we could watch it sometime.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Nemesis was it was a good bad movie, but it wasn't like the best bad movie ever. It was very just boring for long stretches. So I would recommend it, definitely. If not for its so bad it's good vibe, at least for the action scenes, because they were so over the top. I mean, it felt like sometimes they were like standing like 6 feet apart and just emptying magazines into each other, and no one was getting hit. It was just standing. It was like that Naked Gun scene where they like stand.
Yeah.
They like stand like the guns are this close and they just shoot, bah, 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 and no one's hitting each other. That was basically this movie, but they were doing it serious, and it was just, I'm like, what is happening here? And it was so much. It was almost deafening. All the gunfire, so for minutes on end. So that was kind of hilarious.
Yeah, too much plot.
Yeah, they did not need that much plot. No, there was like a half-hour setup. There was one action scene in the beginning, and then they just set up the
A
plot. And that was one of
really
the
good
parts.
action scene, I might add.
Oh yes, they were like blowing up like entire ruins with
Yeah.
shotguns. That was amazing.
Yeah, but it kind of feels like that movie was, like all the plot stuff was, like
It was tacked on later.
yeah, because he has to say this so we can get to this action scene, and then he has to say this so we can get to that action scene.
Which is it's
we kind of joked about that as well, because almost every like plot-driven scene ended with him being knocked out and then waking up in another place.
Yeah, they were using that as like some kind of Deus Ex Machina to just like, oh, how are we gonna get him to this abandoned steel mill where we're shooting the next scene? Someone hit him in the head. That was basically every like ending of a plot scene end with him being hit in the head, which was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So I would actually recommend that, especially if you like action movies. So I do, so that's why I would recommend it. After that, though, we watched what I thought was like a cult classic, but it turns out that it wasn't, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched the movie, and I think if Adolf Hitler is still in the chat, he's gonna. Well, he might like this. I'm not sure. We watched a movie called Black Gestapo.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he'll appear again. I think he left the chat.
Yeah.
It's Black Gestapo. We should elaborate, I suppose. It's a blaxploitation movie, which was very very popular in the like late '60s and I guess the entire '70s, right?
Yeah.
It was this whole movement where African American.
Sorry, I'm buying movies.
Oh, okay. But yeah, blaxploitation. It was this it was this genre that popped up, phenomenon where African American or black filmmakers wanted to make movies where they were like front and center. They wanted like black stars and a lot of black actors.
Yeah. One of the most famous being Shaft.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the most famous working actors in those movies, Fred Williamson.
Yeah, exactly. Fred Williamson.
Who's in From Dusk to Dawn.
Yeah, he actually had his own like production company where he like made movies for himself.
Yeah.
And you have movies like what is called Sweet Badass Song.
Yeah.
And Superfly. Trouble Man. Yeah. Those are that kind of movie. That's what they call blaxploitation. And we watched one.
And some of them are like cross genre, like Blackula or Blackenstein.
There's like Blackula is kind of a classic.
Yeah, it's a great movie actually.
I haven't watched it, but I suppose
you really, really should watch it, because honestly, it's a good film. And the soundtrack is amazing. It's just Motown all the way.
Yeah, the soundtrack is usually good in those kind of movies.
Yeah.
But is Blackula like a good movie or a bad good movie?
I would say it's a good movie.
Okay.
It obviously has its flaws, and it's a low budget movie. So, but regarding what it has to work with, it's really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And it does. In the trailer, they do say he is Dracula's soul brother. So
yeah, and the funniest part, the first, like I think it's like 15 minutes of the movie is setting up how he became Blackula. It's really, really good. We need to watch that one actually.
Yeah,
as soon as possible.
Do you own it?
Yeah, on VHS. So the best way to watch it.
Let's do it then. But we watched a movie called Black Gestapo, which I don't know. It's
It kind of
it
it
was
sucked.
no, I didn't think it sucked. I think we were a little bit distracted because we first we watched Nemesis, and so we were already kind of exhausted from all the action, and it was getting kind of late, and we watched it on DVD, but it was clearly just a VHS rip. It was
Yeah.
terrible picture and sound. You could barely hear what they were saying. So I
I
don't think we were too invested in it.
Yeah, it's probably a bootleg. I own a couple of, like DVD bootlegs.
Yeah, okay.
And
Yeah.
of my copies of Flesh for Frankenstein and Blood for Dracula, the Andy Warhol movies.
Oh yeah.
They're bad VHS rips, basically bootleg,
Oh.
but they're still like a subtitle track.
Okay, so you can
okay
follow along.
It's okay for being a bootleg,
Yeah.
considering.
But
this one was horrible.
Yeah, you really couldn't hear what they were saying. So I think we zoned out after like half an hour. Which is bad. It had its moments, definitely. And it's always fun when the roles are reversed, especially when in a movie like this from the 70s.
Yes.
I don't want to get too political here, but let's just say it is kind of funny when all the this is gonna sound so terrible. When all the white people all of a sudden are the bad guys and the black guys are the good guys.
Yeah.
I don't mean it like that, but it is a bit jarring in my head, especially when watching an old movie like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so obviously like, look, we reversed the roles, and that kind of makes
exactly.
it funny.
It's very obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they portray the bad guys, which are like I think they're like the mafia. I think
the mob.
Some of them were talking with Italian accents. They like portray them as like fucking monsters. They're just bad. There's no nuance to it.
The funny part is that then you start to root for the Black Gestapo, if you will.
Yeah.
For like 2 minutes,
because
but then they started to know to extort people and
because
the
plot
is
the plot is that the mafia has taken over the protection racket in this it's in Watts. I'm pretty sure that's like a suburb to Los Angeles. So they're doing shakedown runs where like all the store owners have to give them money for protection, like the mafia does, and they're just being terrible at beating up people. Especially they fucking assault this prostitute. And that scene was barely even I don't know, funny is the wrong word, but that like almost became like serious. It was kind of excessive the way they were beating her up. So then I don't know, they don't say Black Panthers, but they feel like they were portraying the army, if you will, the Black Army as an offshoot of Black Panthers, because they wanted to clean up in their neighborhood, so to speak. And the leader called Ahmed, right? I think that was the name.
That's the leader.
He gave one of his.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's like the Black Panthers leader. He gave one of his lieutenants permission to like basically take 6 of your best men and just clean up this neighborhood. So he started calling himself the Black Gestapo, and they almost they retaliated towards the mafia.
Yeah,
like tit for tat. So they were being pretty brutal. But after a while, they like took over. Yeah, like you said, and they started beating up prostitutes and just shaking down store owners, and they almost became the bad guys in a way.
Yeah, it was hard to know which one to root for in this movie, because General Ahmed, the hero of the movie, he kind of disappeared in the second act of the movie and came back in the third.
Yeah,
like,
because the Black Gestapo here. Yeah, because the Black Gestapo almost took over and became like the leader.
Yeah.
And
it's so weird talking about this movie because it's such a weird concept for a movie. Yeah,
but yeah, there are a lot of blaxploitation movies like that. It's the one that I gave you. I don't remember the American title.
Yeah,
You're
the
dancing him.
extermination.
Yes, the extermination, where the white man,
The honkies.
the honkies, they actually say honkies in Black Gestapo. That's so funny. I love that word, honky. But in the what's called extermination, the white man. That is literally what they call them. The white man poisons the water supply with a target specific poison that only kills black people.
Only black men.
Yes, only black men, because they want to eradicate the black population. So, so like three black vigilantes go on a fucking killing spree, and they kill every white person around. It's a lot of blaxploitation movies are like that. They're very black and white, so to speak.
I just had an awesome idea. Wouldn't it be amazing if, you know, like the Black Lives Matter movement today started doing like modern blaxploitation movies?
Yeah, because oh my god,
that would be amazing.
That's basically what they want to.
It feels like that's what it's gearing up towards.
Yeah, exactly. They it feels like they're living in a blaxploitation movie almost.
Yeah.
Where there are no moderate people. Everyone is just either you're with us or against us, and either you're black or you're white. You know.
Well, that's always the case with the radical people. It doesn't matter if they're on the right or left.
No, exactly. Radicals will always be radicals.
Yeah.
So speaking of Black Gestapo, I don't want to spoil the ending, because I would.
You would.
I would recommend it.
You would.
Yeah, I would. It was entertaining, and I would like to watch a better quality version of that movie.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
with subtitles.
So there's like a Blu-ray or something.
Yeah, because that felt like a movie that, especially since towards the end, it wasn't just that the white people were the bad guys. It actually became a bit more, a bit more centrist than that. Some of the black guys became the antagonists, and the protagonist was another black guy trying to like stop them from being even worse than the white people. Yeah, so it was interesting in that way.
The moral of the story is that violence begets violence.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't really matter if you're. It does. Oh my god! It doesn't matter if you're black or white. Yes. I was thinking about Michael Jackson, but whatever. I was thinking about the chat, so I was thinking about Michael Jackson and whatever. But yeah, so that movie felt a little bit more moderate than some other blaxploitation movies, and it was interesting. Plus, like in all 70s movies, really, but especially blaxploitation movies or exploitation movies, the dialogue was amazing at points. Like we said, using the word honky over and over again.
Yeah.
And the one scene, trigger. I'm actually gonna say this, trigger warning here. When General Ahmed walks up to the Black Gestapo and calls him a jive ass nigga, that was some of the funniest stuff I've ever heard. Because he just looks dead in the eyes. But you know what? You a jive ass nigga. And that was so funny. He just what do you call him? Satt honom på plats. What do you say?
Put him in his place.
Put him in his place.
Yeah. That's kind of funny too, because all the time when the white people were saying it kind of felt
they were saying it like in the typical racist way. Bunch of niggers, like so. Yeah. That was the way they were saying it. But when he used it against, another black person, it was like he was really like demeaning and wanting to embarrass him almost.
Yeah. Put him in his place, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. Really put him in his place, and it was really funny the way he did it. And Black Gestapo, he got so mad. And then the scene where Black Gestapo, his like second lieutenant wants to talk to him, and the Black Gestapo. I don't know. No, Koja was his name. I should stop saying Black Gestapo. His name was Koja. Koja is having sex with a white lady.
Yeah,
because they were still mingling with white people for some reason. They were
but
keeping
the vibe was that she was his slave, in a way.
Yeah, they had white servants and white cooks. It was kind of funny. Yeah, and they were having sex, and his second lieutenant comes in and says, "I need to speak to you in private. I need to speak to you alone." And Koja does. He kind of looks back at her like it does a half turn and just says, "We are alone." I was it was so good because she looked so destroyed. Like, oh, it was those kind of moments. Those kinds of moments they were really fun, and that's why I want to watch it again, because I think we missed a lot of those moments because of the poor quality.
Yeah, I found a Blu-ray here, but the codec says MPEG 4 AVC.
Okay.
The resolution is 1080 though. But that codec seems kind of weird. I don't collect Blu-rays, so I have no idea what's good or not.
That's probably it says it's probably like upscaled to 1080, but it's
yeah.
Hopefully it's a proper DVD that has been transferred to a Blu-ray, so at least it's going to be DVD quality.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't hold my breath.
No, I wouldn't bet on it, because the DVD you had was obviously like a VHS rip.
Well, my copy costed me like 20 Swedish kronor.
Yeah, so about like $3.
Yeah, so and it was worth it because it's a funny conversational piece in my collection.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
The black what?
Yeah, it's such a what's it called? It's such an oxymoron. The Black Gestapo. It's like, wait, weren't Gestapo part of Hitler's guys? But yeah, but this is a Black Gestapo. Oh, and that was kind of jarring in the beginning. The movie starts with old what do you call it? Film. Stock footage of Nazis parading and Hitler holding speeches and everybody hiling. It was like, oh, so that's the vibe you're starting your movie with? Okay.
Yeah.
But it was kind of funny that some of the movies were they had flipped the picture was negative.
Yeah.
So all the Nazis looked like they were black skinned. They were trying to do something artsy and experimental there, but there were just a bunch of Nazis parading around. It was weird.
Yeah, a weird movie.
But it was an interesting movie. Yeah, it was a weird movie, but it was interesting.
And that's why you haven't got that about my movie collection, because you only see bad movies. I see funny, interesting, weird movies.
Yeah,
of course, a lot of it's crap. I'm not that delusional, but.
No,
but we have struck gold a couple of times.
Yeah, that Mexican or Spanish movie. What is it? The Curse of the Blind Dead or whatever.
The Tomb of the Blind Dead.
Tomb of the Blind Dead. That was actually a pretty good zombie movie.
Yeah, very atmospheric.
Very atmospheric. It was definitely like a case of they could have done a better movie with a higher budget, definitely, because you could see where they had to seriously cut down on some effects and some scenes, even because they didn't have the budget for it. But in essence, it was a great movie. Yeah, it was genuinely creepy at times. So you strike gold sometimes and actually find a good movie.
Yeah, I also like to say that I own. I wanted to say many, but many good movies.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In your defense, you do have good movies too.
Yeah.
But you focus your collection on good bad movies.
Yeah, or interesting cult movies.
Yeah. Basically.
Exactly. And also, I would like to add that I sold off a lot of my collection a couple of years back when I needed money. And I remember fondly you buying some of the more crappier movies that I owned at the time. and now
Yeah.
refuse to sell them back to me.
Well, I bought them because I genuinely like them as
I'm
good
mainly
bad
talking
movies.
about the Violent Shit trilogy.
Yeah, but I like that because that is I'm a bit pretentious sometimes when it comes to movies. I have like periods where I only watch pretentious movies or like indie movies,
Yeah.
and Violent Shit. Even though it is kind of it's basically just a low budget, like a
Shot
whole
on
movie where they
video.
like
Yeah.
they like try out bad like splatter effects.
Yeah.
It does have some. Let's see if I can. I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait. Here. This is the Violent Shit trilogy, and at least the first movie, the second and third almost become like they want to make it like mainstream, like proper, slasher movies almost.
Yeah.
But the first one is like it's almost avant-garde at times.
Yeah, it has some art film qualities to it.
It like gives birth to Jesus, and
then kills him.
yeah.
But that's kind of ripped off from Begotten, though.
I haven't seen that one.
By the guy who made Shadow of the Vampire, his first movie. He also made
really?
Yeah, you know the Marilyn Manson music videos for like Antichrist Superstar. He has some. It's basically a remake. It's the same director, actually.
Oh, okay. Huh.
He stole some scenes and concepts from that movie. It's so weird. It's about God disemboweling himself and giving birth to Mother Nature and stuff. It's
I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's one of the creepier movies I've had. And the thing is, I haven't seen all of it. I've seen scenes from it, and it's haunting.
Yeah, and sometimes when you think you're gonna watch a bad movie, you actually find that kind of quality too.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not gonna sell you this back, because at least the first one, I love the first Violent Shit. Yeah. It's like for me personally, it's actually a good movie, a good movie almost.
Wow.
Sort of like yeah, well, because it has that avant-garde quality to it.
I actually like the third one best, because it's so.
That's the one where he has like an entire army.
Yeah, and it's ninjas and stuff. It's so out there.
That almost feels like I get almost like Army of Darkness vibes from that movie. Like they wanted to do that thing.
It's the third movie, and I'm sure he's a fan of the Evil Dead trilogy. So, what's his name? Andreas Schnaas?
I think so. Doesn't actually. Yeah, Andreas Schnaas, Ist Karl the Butcher. Oh, he actually plays the butcher in the first movie. So yeah. And speaking of German, like super duper violent movies, another one of those like pretentious splatter movies from Germany that some people would consider bad, I actually like, is Necromantic. It is also like it is a bad movie. It's low budget. It's bad actors.
Shot on video.
Yeah, shot on video. It's a first-time director. It's pretty bad, but it becomes so avant-garde towards the end once again.
And the effects are amazing.
Yeah, the effects are pretty good sometimes, and they actually like use like a real cadaver in some scenes, because the movie is basically a love triangle between two necrophiliacs and a dead body. Yeah. It's so weird.
Actually, I'm not really that fond of it.
Really?
Yeah,
but you have a poster of it.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention, I'm not that fond of it, but I have a framed poster of it that I'm thinking about. It's
that's the original art for it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm thinking about selling that, actually. But I love
Oh.
that poster though. It's such a great. It's great artwork.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that. But it feels like it's almost like I mean, no disrespect, but it's that's like wearing a band T-shirt from a band that you don't really like. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. It is.
But
Yeah.
I like parts of it, but the whole when he skins a cat or something.
Yeah, when his girlfriend leaves him for the cadaver, he
Yeah.
becomes so angry that he kills his cat. No,
Yeah,
oh,
that
you're thinking
scene-
about
No,
where
the
they have
rabbit
like
scene.
yeah, they have like real footage from a hunter skinning a rabbit. Yeah, that is
that scene puts me off.
yeah.
I
You get to see him hunt it down, like slit its throat after he shot it, and then you see him like skinning it.
Yeah.
And
It's not like
well,
very, very close and with a shaky cam, if I remember correctly.
yeah, it's almost like a home movie. Like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna film Uncle Leroy when he skins a rabbit.
Yeah,
It got
and
that kind of
it's the
quality.
same thing with the cannibal movies, like Cannibal Holocaust. I think those movies are fun up until they kill some poor animal.
Yeah, and they only do it for shock value, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, come on, you don't have to kill real animals.
Very.
Especially in Cannibal Holocaust, when they like kill 100-year-old turtle. That feels that there must be some kind of crime.
Yeah.
It just has to be, because like one of these really like ancient.
It's big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's big. It's a tortoise. That's the one that walks on land. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, and
one
there are
of those
like
old ones.
2 or 3 people dragging it because it's so heavy.
Yeah, and
because
they
it's
like
fucking ancient. It's like a stone.
yeah, and they chop its head off, and the limbs start flailing. It's kind of grotesque.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I love violence and all that in movies, but not towards real animals.
Yeah.
Then it just feels like exploitation then.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Actually, we were supposed to watch 3 movies this weekend, but
yeah, but I think it was like 1 a.m. after Black Estapa, and people were like, yeah, I'm gonna go home now.
yeah.
What was the third one?
Dracula versus Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Version from I think it's 71. I'm just double checking.
And that sounds like a movie that is going to be so bad it's good.
The thing is, I've seen. Yeah, it was 71. I've seen bits of it because it went when I was a kid. They showed it on TV1000, which was a cable channel in Sweden, and they showed it at like 1 a.m. in the morning, and I was like 9 or something, and was determined that I was gonna stay up, watch it, and tape it because I taped a lot of movies back then.
Oh yeah, I did too.
Yeah, and I fell asleep and woke up when at the ending of the movie, and I've forgotten to tape it.
Put the tape in, yeah.
Oh. So it's been like I've seen some more clips from it now.
But you haven't watched the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of eager to watch it because it's eluded me for so many years.
Well, I mean, you're on vacation right now, right?
Yeah.
You still have your vacation.
Yeah.
And I'm also on well, I don't know. Yeah, vacation. So we could watch it any day, man.
Come over tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. I'll do it. We'll watch it. And I actually, maybe not for tomorrow then, but I have a movie I want us to watch.
A bad movie or just
yeah. No, a bad hopefully
good.
A bad good. Yeah. You've probably heard about it. It's called Death Spa.
Haven't the Best of the Worst done that?
Exactly. That's why
I haven't
that is
seen
one of
that episode, but I've seen like the thumbnail.
Oh, okay, yeah, because that is one of my favorite episodes of Best of the Worst.
Oh, okay.
And I like, I really want to watch Death Spa because it sounds amazing. Because it's a ghost that haunts a gym and kills people with the workout equipment.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. So
But
yeah,
that's
we should definitely
also
watch that.
speaking of best of the worst. I'm currently looking for a movie that's been covered on that show.
Yeah.
Elle.
Oh, elves. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
that
found
that's
like
also one.
a high-end bootleg DVD,
Okay.
but I'm not sure because it's kind of pricey. And it's a
Oh.
bit unclear on some of those, like bootleg DVD and Blu-ray sites. It's kind of unclear if you get a cover or not.
Or if it's just a. Yeah,
It-
it's just a.
the disc.
Yeah, the disc in a like regular case.
Yeah, and I really want a cover, and I'm too lazy to make one myself.
Mm.
So
Well, there's that feels like a movie that could that you could find like a legitimate DVD of though.
yeah, but no.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
I've searched, and I don't think there's been like a proper, maybe on Blu-ray though, because I don't collect Blu-rays, so I don't keep an eye out. I only search
Mm.
for DVD or VHS because that's
Yeah.
the two formats. But I I know this, that eventually I'm gonna start buying Arrow Blu-rays.
Yeah.
I
They
know it.
they've made like Arrow Video has like made a career out of releasing good bad movies. For the
Yeah,
most part, they do release like old classics as well.
yeah.
But I mean, they have
Lots
like
of Giallo.
yeah, and then my copy of Necromantic is an Arrow Video release, and
Yeah,
it's a small uh, kind of unknown German like exploitation movie from the 80s. But it's 2 discs. It has like newly recorded commentary tracks with the director, and they've interviewed him for this release of the Blu-ray. And Arrow really likes bad movies. They are they took it to a whole new level. Arrow
yeah.
Video. That's like, oh, so bad it's good. Well, let's make like a mega collector's edition out of it.
Yeah.
And they've done this with
That's
more
a
movies.
really good business strategy because
Yeah, it
there's
is.
always going to be collectors looking for a good way to watch. Because I understand that Blu-ray is better than DVD. It's not like
Yeah,
I'm not trying to say that. Yeah, but actually DVDs have a blah, 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 and therefore it's better because the quality. I know that it's a Blu-ray is better in almost all ways,
yeah,
but I kind of like DVDs because that's the first. I started collecting VHS tapes
mm,
when I was a kid, basically, and then I started collecting DVDs when that format came.
yeah. Okay.
So those are
Yeah,
the two formats I've always been collecting. So
yeah. And I didn't really collect movies or collect. I didn't really buy a lot of movies until they started coming out on DVD.
yeah,
But more because I was 9 years old when DVDs became a thing back in '98.
yeah,
So before that, it was my parents buying movies for me. If I wanted a movie, they would buy it for me, and then it would be VHS because I was too young to buy them myself. So when I
yeah,
actually started buying movies myself, it was DVDs were the big format then. So that's why I have a lot of DVDs, and I don't.
yeah,
I think I have like I do have a few VHS, but it's like I think I have 15
yeah.
VHS cassettes maybe, and I think 10 of those are different versions of Star Wars. So I don't really
Didn't I
collect
give you
VHS.
like a set of Star Wars VHS for Christmas?
Uh, no, did you?
I think so, the
I don't
blue
think so.
ones. Because I know I had
No,
them, and I think I gave them
no,
to you.
that wasn't me. I bought them on a yard sale
Oh,
on Gotland.
Oh.
on the island in Adasan. Um, but yes, I do have I did sell most of my VHS collection to you, actually, or I think I gave it to you, or like
Yeah,
sold it for some.
I remember getting some movies for like a birthday present.
Yeah, exactly. Because I had started to collect like old movies on VHS, trying to do when the retro craze was like at its like
Yeah.
peak. I guess it's still going on. People are still collecting retro stuff, but it was huge a few years ago, and I started collecting like old movies on VHS, trying to find like original releases, original
Yeah.
Swedish releases for like old Steven Seagal movies and stuff like that. But I don't know. It was more of a fad for me.
Yeah, it's a
To
hard
collect.
form. The hardest part about collecting it is that it takes up so much space.
Yeah, because a DVD is this thin.
Yeah,
And
especially when you're shopping online and you're buying like 10 tapes or something, the shipping gets insane.
Yeah, because then it's like 3 or 4 pounds. Just
Yeah,
like the shipping like racks
I
up pretty
bought
fast.
yeah, I bought like 15 movies a couple of years back online
In like
from
one package.
yeah, in one bundle, and
Yeah.
the shipping was insane. I think the shipping was like 200 kronor.
Yeah, so that's like $25. And
Yeah,
how much did you pay for the actual movies?
like 100.
Swedish or
Yeah,
oh, so you paid more for shipping than the actual movies.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem with VHS.
Yeah, but also one of the upsides to that is super cheap to collect for the most part.
Oh, definitely.
If you go to like a yard sale or a flea market, you can get like 10 tapes for 10 kronor.
Yeah, like $1.
Yeah.
And that's how I bought my Star Wars movies, because I had the special editions on video from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
The one where he started adding a bunch of computer animations.
Yeah.
But then I found the last unaltered versions. Well, they're technically they have never been unaltered on home video. There's always been little
There's
stuff,
only Laserdisc,
but this was the last.
Right? There,
I think there. Yeah, the original is on Laserdisc, and he did release these ones on DVD as like a special feature on some collector thing. I only have the first one, or the fourth one, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I don't, because the original Star Wars. Now we're going to talk Star Wars for a while.
Yeah.
The original Star Wars that was shown in cinemas in 1977, it was just called Star Wars. And
they
I
added
think it's A New Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it came out on video, or back then, when it came out on video a few years later, when video became a thing, it said Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. So he added Episode 4. So I don't think you can actually find Star Wars A New Hope on DVD or Blu-ray or anything. It's always going to say Episode 4, I think.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that there's a Laserdisc. I'm sure it's like a Japanese Laserdisc print of the original trilogy without added stuff.
Yeah, because
I'm not sure about the Episode 5 and 6 though, but
okay. Yeah, because that's what I'm going to say.
That's one of the formats I would like to get into collecting, though. Laserdisc.
Yeah, they're kind of cool.
It's so pricey.
Yeah, because it was such a short time that the Laserdiscs were around. So they've become collector's items.
Yeah, I remember my friend. My friend. Yes.
Hello, I'm from Sweden.
Yes. Andreas Nilsson. Yeah, his dad had like a whole shelf of Laserdisc movies.
Yeah, they're kind of cool. They look like vinyl albums.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna check with Andreas and see if he still got them. Maybe I can get my dirty little hands on them.
Yeah.
Another thing about collecting VHS is that people fucking throw tapes at you. Oh, you
Yeah.
collect VHS? I got 3 boxes in the cellar.
Yeah.
Or
They're just
in like,
they're just taking up a bunch of space. You want them? Okay.
yeah.
That's what I
That
gave
actually
mine
happened.
away.
Yeah, a friend of mine, he recently became a dad.
Mm.
So he hit me up on Facebook. Hey, I don't have any space because I'm having a kid. Do you want my movie collection, VHS, and some DVDs? And it was like 4 or 5 boxes full of movies that I got for free.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was awesome. But that it happens all the time that people, oh, I got lots of old VHS tapes, but it's mostly crap.
Yeah, it's mostly kids. A lot of Disney movies,
A
because
lot
everyone
of,
has Disney
yeah,
movies on VHS.
yeah. I'm
And a lot of
actually only interested in a couple of the old Disney, the old stuff like Sleeping Beauty, Snow White.
okay,
Uh,
but but then if you want to do like the proper collecting, then you want to find the old VHSs, because
yeah,
I know my sister has like Sleeping Beauty on VHS, but it's a reissue from like the 90s.
yeah.
So
I
you want to
want
find that
80s.
old like 80s
Yeah, I want
cassettes then.
80s prints. But
Yeah.
and
That,
lots of there's a couple of Swedish movies that I'm after, like Besökarna. I want that
oh
one
yeah.
on VHS. Blödaren. I actually saw an auction for that one.
Blödaren? What's
Yes,
that?
it's a Swedish slasher movie,
Oh.
produced by OK, the
The
magazine,
the the teen magazine?
the teen magazine.
But
Uh,
that must be like a PG-13 thing then.
no. And
What?
yeah, and it's I can't remember. It's starring like a rock band, an all-girl rock band, Swedish. Can't remember their name now. Uh,
A Swedish old girl
yeah,
rock band. I don't really listen to Swedish.
they weren't that big, but this was
No, yeah,
kind of
they were the flavor of the month.
the flavor of the month, and this was like a clever way to promote them.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Kind of an elaborate way to promote them. Yeah, let's make
yeah,
a slasher movie.
yeah. So that one, there is a DVD, but I'm more interested in getting it on VHS because it's super rare.
Oh, okay.
Soon as Sommar, I need to get that one on VHS.
I'm I'm not sure, but I think my grandma has that on VHS. I'm not sure if it's an original VHS or if it's reissue,
Yeah.
but I know that it's probably real an original, because I watched it all the time when I visited my grandma when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So if
I
she still
think I
has
have
it,
it. Yeah, I think I have it taped from
oh okay,
TV
yeah,
somewhere. That's the one I watched all the time when I was a kid. The taped
yeah,
one. It's such a funny movie.
yeah, that still holds up.
Yeah, it's
Unlike
amazing.
unlike the modern Sune
Yeah,
movies.
talking about the crappy movies.
Yeah, talking about so bad it's just bad.
Yeah,
I
haven't
watched
actually
one.
seen. Have
You
you
haven't?
seen?
Okay, I've yes, they made like 3, right? One where it's a ski movie. Then they were in Greece, and
Yeah.
then I don't even remember the third one. But I watched one of them just because there's a Swedish YouTube channel called Montefianton, and they really hate those movies. They also review bad movies.
Yeah,
Bad
they're
Swedish
really
movies.
good at reviewing bad movies.
Yeah, they're really good at reviewing, and they specialize on Swedish movies since they're a Swedish channel.
Yeah.
It's probably the best Swedish YouTube channel,
Yeah,
other than mine, of
I would
course.
say. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
so many different. They have like a cooking show that's really funny because the joke
Yeah.
is that all the food is uneatable.
Yeah, and they make they have a let's play show,
Yeah.
but they always play in the like in the dead of night, so they're tired. They can't concentrate and they play bad games.
Yeah, and they mostly play Age of Empires too.
Yeah, for some reason they
4 episodes.
But then the main show is where they talk about terrible Swedish, usually like teen movies, like Sherdil. And,
because that's the thing. Sweden only makes 2 kind of movies. They make Beck movies, which we talked about
cop movies, procedurals.
Yeah, and they make crappy teen movies.
Yeah,
crappy
basically
teen children movies.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Sometimes we're graced with something kind of unique, like Yalla Yalla or Tillsammans and Fucking Åmål.
Yeah, there are a few filmmakers that actually try to make good movies, but mostly it's just cop movies and teen romance comedies, sort of.
That's actually
just terrible.
That's actually one of my favorite bad movie genres: Swedish crappy teen movies.
Yeah, no, we tried to get into that. We watched what is it called? The one where they
Sanning eller konsekvens.
Yeah, Sanning eller konsekvens. Truth or Dare, I suppose it would be called in American. And we watched that the 2 sisters that they run away to Thailand or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
I don't remember the name, but it was bad. So bad.
That's actually one of my favorite bad movie genres: Swedish children's and teen movies, because they're trying to be so melodramatic, and that's really funny. And
they usually try to be very serious, even though they're just
very
making
serious and very educational in that Swedish DDR way. You know, like
yeah, it's a lot of finger wagging. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
it's very politically correct for the most part. Well, for its time, I don't know if filming underage girls in the shower is politically correct now, but it was then, I suppose. That movie starts out very cringy in a bad way.
But there's also good examples of. I for one, I love the Eva and Adam TV series. I really think I think it's a good series.
Yeah, but I mean, when we watched like an episode or 2 a few weeks ago, and it's I don't know. I think it's kind of cringy, actually.
Yeah,
Bat is fun. Yeah, Bat is a lot of fun. It's another TV show, and that's it's because it's made by Thomas Alfredson.
Yes.
Yeah, and he knows what he's doing. He knows that this drama stuff is kind of ridiculous, so he turns it into almost like a farce at times.
It's very surreal.
Yeah, it's very surreal. It's kind of farcical, and this was even back in the '90s when all of these kind of movies were like serious, or TV shows were serious. He made it. Yeah, he made like a satirical.
This is the time of Sökarna.
Yeah, exactly.
A Swedish movie. That's a good bad movie. Mostly bad. Yeah,
definitely. Mostly bad, but
it's a Swedish crime teen drama about young men falling.
They fall in with a bad crowd. They become criminals, basically.
Yeah.
And then we have what's it called? Oh no, with Paolo Roberto.
Stockholm's
Natt.
Stockholm
by Night. Yeah. That one is that is also so bad it's good, because that is also it's basically, it's not even a movie, it's more of an educational movie.
Yeah, and it's
because
we had trying
like
to be documentary also.
Yeah, because in the mid 80s, early to mid 80s, I wasn't alive then, but I've read about it, and my dad has actually talked about it. There was like this epidemic in Stockholm where kids were smashing and destroying telephone booths for some reason. They were just knocking them over, smashing all the windows, ripping out the cords and all, just for fun. And they wanted to like.
This is also the rise of home video and Bruce Lee movies and stuff like this.
Yeah, exactly.
So that kind of plays in.
So they, I think the government like funded a movie where they wanted to like get young people to like stop committing crimes. So they make this movie about this badass called Paolo. He's the baddest guy in Stockholm basically, and he goes around. He's robbing people, beating them up, and smashing a lot of telephone booths. But it's your typical cautionary tale, because in the end, he gets caught. He goes to, well, not prison, but he goes to like juvie, and he's almost like pushed out of his family, and everything goes bad. It's your typical cautionary tale. The problem was, and then they did like a tour for that movie and showing it in schools. Paolo, as he's actually called in real life, Paolo Roberto, he did like talks in schools and told them how it's really bad to commit crimes and all that. And
he turned his life
was like
around, basically.
Yeah, exactly, because he was kind of a tough guy in real life before that, and he was into martial arts and all that. The problem was that kids watching that movie didn't really get the message. All they saw was this cool guy with a cool jacket that was really good at karate, and like doing all these like round kicks and like fly kicks, and they all started copying him instead. So instead of like ending this like the teen violence and teen crime wave that was going, it just got worse because of that movie, and that's really funny.
Also, I read a funny rumor regarding that movie. I have no idea if this is true, but
okay.
The director, I can't remember his name right now. Wait.
He made a lot of those shitty.
Yeah,
he made gemenskap och a bunch of those.
The English
typical
title,
like
the English title of Stockholm's Natt is Kingen of Kungsan.
Nej.
Yes,
that's not even English.
Yeah. Okay.
So like the King of Kungsan.
Staffan Hildebrand.
Hildebrand. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
he made a lot of those
yeah,
finger wagging movies.
He's gay. And there's a rumor, as I said,
homosexual way, or
yeah.
He's bad. Oh, okay, he's a homosexual. He's a homosexual.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's a rumor that he started out making a documentary about this phenomenon, and met Paolo Roberto and all of those guys. And the rumor is that the only reason why he made the movie is because he had the hots for Paolo Roberto.
Oh.
And that he actually tried to, like, do inappropriate stuff with him.
Ew.
But as I said, it's only a rumor. I can't substantiate it in any way or form.
Because Paolo was not 18 back then, right? Or was he?
I think he's like 16 or 17.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then
at the time when he made it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so that makes it extra sleazy.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I hadn't heard that one actually.
Yeah.
But it's just a rumor.
I said, once again, it's only a rumor. Can't substantiate it.
We're not trying to out a child molester here. It's a rumor.
Yeah.
Don't tweet, people. Don't tweet. But yeah. Oh no, I got off track.
Bad movies.
There's bad movies. Yeah. Well.
It's kind of fun that we
about
always
the chat again.
Circled back into bad movies when we started talking about Swedish movies, and we kind of, like dove right back into bad movies, but Swedish bad movies.
Yeah, well, that's because like 90% of Swedish cinema is pretty bad.
Yeah,
we get a few good ones each year, but
no,
most of them
not
are
even
crap.
each year. Like every
no, but some years, like
fourth year.
Yeah, I mean, this year we had a couple. I only watched one of them, but I've heard that. I know Daniel. He was very fond of Sameblod, or I guess it's like Sami blood. You would call it
Yeah,
in
I
English.
heard the great things about that movie.
Yeah, I missed that one though because it was premiering at the same time at Dröm Vidare had its premiere,
Oh,
Dream On, which is another Swedish movie. And that was actually really good. I made a review of that in Swedish.
wait, that's the one that.
It's almost like a heist, more like a crime drama / heist movie, but on a very small scale. They're out in the suburbs, jungle as it's called, and their biggest heist is they're gonna rob a jewelry store. It's very like.
Okay, so it's not. I thought about another Swedish movie that I think.
Okay, no. So yeah,
Uh,
it's not like a big heist movie like Heat or something, but it was a pretty good movie actually, with good actresses, and it was a first time director, a director you actually know or
yeah,
you're familiar with.
It was that movie.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
You actually went to high school with
Yeah,
teacher.
yeah. We went. We were in the same.
We went to film school.
Yeah, same film school. Very
Yeah.
nice. Very talented.
Yes, and that. Oh yeah, this was her like first feature film, and it was actually very good.
Yeah, it's actually talking to like the student movies that you had to make in film school.
Yeah.
How many of your classmates' student movies do you remember now?
Like I can remember a couple that I was in, so I remember them because of that.
Yeah, but
other than that,
not one that you were in.
no. I think
Yeah.
I can remember like snippets of a few, but yeah, you don't remember them at all.
Yeah,
Basically.
Actually, I remember two. One was
Okay.
by her.
Oh, okay.
It's like a documentary about.
Oh,
I think I can't remember what the documentary was about, but I remember distinctly scenes from the movie that I really
okay.
like. In the beginning of the movie, there was like a girl that's playing piano, and she filmed it very close to the keys of the piano and took up the sound of the piano through the camera, so it was very distorted. But that kind of added to the feel. It was very. It's like you can't really explain why, but it's such a beautiful introduction to a movie. I remember that fondly.
Yeah, so. that's also I think that's a mark of someone that actually wants to make a good movie, because most of the stuff we made in high school, because I didn't go to a specific film school. I studied film in high school. We mostly did like skits or comedies, because it's kind of awkward to show like a serious movie in school to your classmates. So, but yeah, then you hear about this and like, oh, she actually made it like a more serious movie. Yeah. That makes sense now that she's a professional movie maker.
Yeah. We made one serious movie, and I rewatched it like last year, and it was so cringy. Mm-hmm. Do you know which one?
Which one is that?
About? Patienten.
Are you talking about The Patient? Oh yeah.
Oh
well,
my
I haven't seen it since then. Basically.
Oh, you should don't. But it was so cringy. Some parts are good.
Oh.
Some parts.
I remember this being. Because I wasn't involved in that. I was like half and half involved in the editing, I think.
Yeah.
But I wasn't involved in the actual movie making of it, the actual filmmaking. Yeah. So, but I watched it, and I back then I thought that this was like seriously a good movie.
Yeah,
but we were teens, so maybe it wasn't.
Hold on to that feeling and don't watch it again.
Oh, okay.
It's super. You really feel that it's an adolescent teen, a moody teen directed that movie. That moody teen was me.
Yeah.
Because it's very melodramatic and very, like, oh, woe is me.
And isn't it black and white, or parts of it is, right?
Yeah, the
Or am I
flashbacks
just
are black and white.
yeah, exactly. Because
But
that is that's serious.
yeah,
Black and white movies are serious, man.
I think we talked about making the whole movie black and white at one point. I don't know why
Yeah.
we didn't. But the thing is, it wouldn't have made any like difference.
No.
So
Probably
yeah, but that's a perfect example of like you want to make a good movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say that to bring it back to what we were talking about before. That is because as you say, then I haven't seen
pretty
it in many
simple to
years.
sit here and piss on other people's films.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. But yeah, so you're saying that The Patient or Patienten is a movie that is so bad that it's good?
No, it's just bad. It's very naive. I think that's its only like saving grace, that it's very naive.
Mm.
And it's very
But
much a student film.
yeah, but let's say some people that don't know you personally. Let's say that this for some reason was shown at a film festival. Do you think
Oh,
they could
then it
appreciate
would
it?
be so bad it's good, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so then
Because people would laugh.
It's kind of hard to laugh at your own movies.
Yeah.
Then
And
it just becomes
I
cringy.
know there's a couple of unintentional funny stuff. I remember there's one scene where a character sits down. She has put her jacket on a chair, and when she sits down, the jacket does this thing. And that always when I screened the movie, I've screened it a couple of times, like in film class and for girlfriends and friends.
Oh,
And
yeah.
all of them laugh at that point.
Oh, I don't remember that. Okay.
and it's so irritating because it would have been so easy to like, yeah, let's take another one and skip the jacket.
Yeah.
But
well, you were young. You were young.
I was young and we had a deadline.
Yeah, that's like it's like 9 or 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like 2007, 2008.
Yeah. I think
That's
2006 actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Maybe I've thought about the idea of like screening a couple of our old movies at the movie theater where we've done some screenings, like a Frog House retrospective.
Yeah, because our production company is called Frog House. Back in the days, I guess we don't really do a lot of it's been a long time since we actually did a short film or a sketch. But I guess if we would do another one now, it would still be called like it would be made by Frog House Productions, I suppose.
Yeah.
If
we can't think of name.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I got a torrent, or I think I have a torrent somewhere on my computer, or Christopher has one. I think.
But do you
old stuff?
Do you have any more? Do you have any more of your old movies? I know you have Östra Sidan.
No.
You should have it.
Yeah, I don't know actually. I have to check my computer. That's one that's so bad it's good. But that one really need to have. That movie would benefit from a new audio commentary, like recorded now.
Yeah,
because I need to straighten some stuff out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can. Yeah, this is becoming very what do you call it?
Very very personal. Or
exactly, because I don't think people know what we're talking about. So
we're talking about a movie we made in last year, senior year in high school.
Yeah, that was 2007, 2008.
Yeah, called Östra Sidan, the East Side, and it's a zombie movie, and it's horribly bad because.
We we didn't go to the same film school, but so this was like your big like end project for school, and I know I helped out with it. And I know you had like the first 2 or 3 days of the main shoot, the actual production, the movie production. It was very professional. We had a like a line producer or a script girl. We had a line producer. We had a sound guy. We had a dedicated camera operator. Everything was. It actually felt like being on a movie set.
Yeah.
But then, like the 4th day, and then the 5th and 6th, and then I think we took a break. But after that, it just less and less people were showing up to the show.
It came undone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And towards the end, I think it was you, me, and I was also one of the actors. But you, me behind the camera, Christopher behind the camera, and then the like me and 2 other actors. That was like it.
Yeah.
That really, you can actually like, watch that fall apart as you're watching it.
Yeah, I know that I have gotten some crap that I wasn't. How do you? I wasn't that productive, maybe.
Yeah, I can remember. Mentioning that a couple of times.
Yeah, but the thing is. And here's something I wanted to say for a long time, that you guys weren't very helpful to me as well.
Okay.
You guys could have done so much to, like ease that tension, because it felt for me like a lot of weight was on my shoulders.
Yeah, I suppose I can only speak for myself, but I felt that when the production was kind of faltering, I felt like I could sort of step away because it wasn't my project. I was really only an actor in the movie. Yeah, I had helped on the script, but other than that, I was just like an actor for hire, basically. For your project. So I think I like stepped back and said, no, you deal with this.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I kind of felt like everyone did that. Said, you deal with it. You're the director. And that's and I can maybe think that like when you're a director or a producer for that matter, and you're working on a low budget project that people, it's very easy to get like swamped.
Oh yeah.
And start doing like, fuck it, we'll shoot that tomorrow. And like stealing the fake octopus.
Yeah, exactly, like Ed Wood did.
Yeah, it's very easy to get to that point. That's what I'm.
Yeah, and especially since the movie when it was like finished, well, it's technically not finished. There are some like some scenes that are still missing. It was never actually finished, but the finished product was like 42 minutes long or something, and it took us like principal photography took months to do because people had school and they on weekends they had like
badly planned as well. If we had spent a couple of days, like if we only had spent a couple of more days in pre-production, like, wait a minute, aren't people going to be at school or work on Friday afternoon?
Yeah, exactly.
We could have saved.
We only scheduled like the first week, and after that, we're like, we'll do when we have time.
Yeah. And we quickly realized that nobody has time.
No, exactly. Especially when you go to school, you're at school entire day.
Yeah, and it was senior year, so it was lots of homework.
Yeah, you have homework and tests and all that. Yeah. So,
but
that is definitely. I was gonna say that is definitely a movie that I think even I at least could look back at now and say that it's so bad that it's good.
Yeah,
Almost.
I rewatched it in the same like week that I rewatched The Patient,
Okay.
and I really liked it. It was, it was fun. It was fun looking back,
Yeah.
and it was unintentionally fun because you remember, oh shit, like funny things from behind the sets, or oh, before we shot this, you and Christopher had a big argument over how we would frame something. I
Yeah.
remembered stuff like that. It was fun because we survived it. Yeah, it's fun looking back. And
Yeah, and there are a few scenes in that, or like a few things we did that I still legitimately like enjoy.
yeah,
Um,
I'm
but
very
overall,
pleased with
yeah,
all the gore scenes. I'm
yeah, we actually
I'm
managed to
very
do pretty good
proud
gore.
over the makeup.
Yeah, yeah, it actually works out better than you would expect from like. I don't know. I wasn't involved in the budgeting, but was there any budget to the movie,
No, it
or did you
was
just?
it was it was my student. How do you say studentbidrag?
Your I don't know what you call it, like a student loan, but
Yeah,
it's government sanctioned student
yeah.
loans. They
My
basically give you money for going to school.
my student loan paid for that
Yeah,
movie, basically.
yeah. So we're talking like hundreds of Swedish crowns, not even thousands.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it would be fun showing those old movies and like our short movies and the music video we made. It would be fun to show that in a cinema.
Yeah, and or you have access to a
A movie.
screen, a cinema, a
Yeah.
theater. So
Yeah.
we should definitely do
Yeah.
that.
Maybe if we if we make more movies at some point, maybe it could be like a fun thing if we let's say we made like a short movie, and before the short movie we show a short movie like
Yeah, like this is how it used to look in like
yeah,
10 years ago, and now it's like this.
that's pretty clever because then people are gonna be like legitimately wowed by the new movie, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully, or we're
Hopefully.
gonna realize that our expertise or our talent stopped 10 years ago. Yeah, because that's also something we should acknowledge. That movie kind of, at least for me, kind of killed my interest in making movies.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, the entire process of making that movie, from like writing the script to actually editing it and finishing it, it was
like
almost. Yeah, it was almost a year, and not because we took like long chunks of time like off. We more or less worked on that movie for a year, and we were not super happy with the end result. And it was 42 minutes long. And yeah, before that, we made a lot of like
we made movies like every weekend.
Yeah, we made them just for fun. We thought of an idea in the middle of the night, and then we just filmed it for fun. And I think a few of them are still on. I think I have a few on my YouTube. They're probably privated by now, but they're still there.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, they're not in line with my content now, so that's why they're private.
But that's fun as well, because I really like the pre-production stage. I like the whole planning. Okay, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna get the actors from here to there? Okay, we can schedule this at that. I actually really like that process, but I don't like it when it's all on my back.
No, of course.
But it's the charm of just like in the middle of the night. Hey, let's do a horror movie, and making it in like an hour.
Yeah, and you have like a 5-minute short.
Yeah, of varying quality.
Oh, of course, yeah. But yeah, we would do that like for fun all the time. Yeah. But then after the East Side was finished, we basically stopped making movies or shorts for like a few years.
We've done some short stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, we've done some, and I think some of them are on YouTube.
Yeah.
But there was also a lot of projects that we started up and never finished because, like, oh, it's going to be one of those year-long productions. No. How about no? So yeah, that movie is, it's both a blessing and a curse because it was a lot of fun to do it, and we actually kind of made a feature film.
Yeah, I learned a lot about making movies by making that.
And at the same time, it kind of killed our creativity for a long time.
But that's the one. It also made me want to come back.
Yeah,
you know, like I feel like I have to prove something now and make movies again.
Yeah, definitely. I've felt that for a few years. I just never had the time because now you're working all the time, and you.
But the fun,
back then it was much easier.
part now is the greatest time because now you have the money to make a movie.
Well, yeah.
And
we
if
have
you
money,
only work weekend, but you know what I mean. When we were students, it was like we didn't have the money to make the East Side. I don't say we have that now, but we're closer to having that money now.
Yeah, in a way, because we all make money from jobs, but at the same time, we have to pay bills and stuff. So we still, I'd say we're kind of be sort of on the same budget, if you will. A little higher, of course. But
also, we've learned so much about filmmaking. I don't think the worst thing you could do, in my opinion, is go to film school when you're like 15 or 16, because you're, of course, there's there are some people that are like auteurs at that age, but for the most part, you don't know. You can't. It's so hard to explain, but do you kind of know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to
it's hard to visualize a movie at that age.
Yeah, exactly, because you're not an adult yet. You're viewing the world with different eyes, if you will.
Yeah.
And you're picking up a lot of knowledge from school then, which by now has been forgotten.
Yeah.
It's like with they say that the average dentist only remembers like 7% of his dentist school learning, if you will. And I think that's the same with most professions that you go to school for. And I would say, like I said, I didn't actually go to film school. I just studied film in high school. I didn't really learn too much that I didn't already know, because I watched a lot of behind the scenes stuff for movies, and I was interested in movies before going to high school. So I guess I learned some stuff about.
I learned a lot about framing shots and and stuff like the 180 rule.
We learned
very practical.
A lot of exactly practical stuff we learned about, and like dramaturgy. I don't know what you call it in English. I think it's actually called dramaturgy, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, the whole thing about the 3-act structure.
3-act structure, the protagonist, antagonist, and hero stuff, and how to. Well, we didn't really learn how to write a script, but we sort of did. You kind of get a lot of general knowledge, and then it's after that you start figuring stuff out for yourself, and I think that's where you learn most of your.
I've learned more about framing shots and the cameras and stuff now, like in the last 3 years. But we
from like making shorts and watching other movies.
Yeah, we actually tried to get a thing going, short film / series, like last winter or 2 winters back. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, it was a while ago now. It was like the winter of. It was January or February of 2015, actually.
Yeah, And one thing that I remember was you and me working on, like framing shots and stuff, and really enjoying doing that with you, because we got
Oh,
some really, really nice shots.
yeah, we got some good shots, but
we took our sweet ass time though.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was some mishaps with the camera. And we kind of forgot about it.
Let's be honest. I broke Tobbe's camera.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. Not.
It's the one.
It was an accident.
Oh yeah, of course. But it's the camera I'm using now to make my reviews, which I haven't done in a while. But no.
It's all
yeah.
good.
So that also that kind of stopped us in our tracks too. When the camera broke, it was like, oh, okay.
And because, that's funny, because the thing we tried to shoot was a thing that we tried to shoot when we were younger. We tried to get this thing off. Tried to film this thing for like 10 years.
Yeah, I think the first time we talked about the project was like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
to make it like a sitcom or series of short films that felt like sitcom episodes.
Seinfeld meets Spaced.
Yeah, sort of.
Via Kevin Smith.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last time. Yeah, 2015 was the last time we really tried to actually make something. But as it usually does, we kind of it stopped in the middle and never became anything. Yeah. Life came in the middle.
Yeah, the fucking broken camera came in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But thinking about it, like looking back at it, I don't. I mean, what we did film was fun, and we got some good stuff. But I do feel that it wasn't. We wouldn't have been satisfied with the end product. I think.
I was really satisfied with the scripts, though. I thought the scripts were really, really funny.
Well, yeah. Some parts of them were. That's also when you have time to think about it for like a couple of years now. I do think if we read them now, we would have rewrote a lot of it.
Yeah,
but that's always going to be like it.
Sorry that I'm speaking Swedish, but ska vi säga att vi håller på?
Yeah, I guess that's why we kind of got into this subject here, because we're once again working on a short film.
Yeah, and now we've massively jinxed it, but
probably
we don't have to say anything more about the movie more than that. It's in the pre-production stage. If it gets made, if it gets made, that's great. If it's not, well,
but I think we're also I know, at least from my perspective, I am being very cautious with actually doing anything, and I want to make sure that that we don't half-ass anything. That we actually everything has to be planned, and we have to be prepared. Yeah, it has to be planned and prepared before we actually start shooting it. Yeah. So right now we have written the script. Let's say that we've written the script. It's a short film. It's going to be like 15 minutes maybe.
Yeah. We've done a script breakdown.
Yeah, we've done a script breakdown. We've looked at like what a potential budget would be and stuff like that. But that's basically it. We have a friend who is working on some storyboards, which is like a first. We've never really done that before.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we really, really need.
Yeah, we need that kind of structure when we actually shoot the film.
Yeah, but because then we can be, like arguing for 2 hours about how we're gonna frame something or how we're gonna shoot something. But then we know that we have to take that shot from the storyboard. Then we can argue after that.
Yeah. So. And hopefully the argument will be shorter then.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll
see if it becomes something. I'm hoping But
I think if we do take our time now and we take baby steps to not like overwhelm ourselves like we usually do, like, oh, let's write 4 movies and shoot them all at once, stuff like that. That we're actually taking our time now, and I would actually say, this is barely a podcast anymore. We're just talking now.
Yeah.
We should actually go back to this. Yeah, but it organically moved in this direction. It was always going to end up here. It was fate, Martin.
Yes.
No, I'm just going to say that we should actually
fun talking about making movies, because as I said earlier, it's very easy to piss on other people's films. So I felt the need to be a bit humble.
Yeah, definitely. And it kind of ties into So Bad It's Good movies, because most of the stuff we made in our teens is pretty bad.
Yeah.
So it kind of ties in. But
the only one that I wouldn't wouldn't want other people to see is The Patient. It's so cringy. It's super cringy. Yeah. I can watch it with you, barely. But I wouldn't want to like show a whole room of people, because my feelings would be hurt.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. But oh no, I lost my train of thought here.
What time is it, by the way?
We've been doing it for 2 hours, more or less.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's like we've come to the end here where we talk about our future project, I suppose.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I was just gonna say that we wrote the script. It was like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or more even. And I do think that we should go back now that we've had some time, because when we first wrote it was like, oh, this is really good. Oh, this scene is going to be great. I think if we go back now, just like a month later, and do like a second draft, there's going to be some things we want to change, definitely. And we still have time, since we're still in pre-production. So
yeah, sure. Maybe we can check it out tomorrow when we watch Blackula.
Yeah, definitely. But so yeah. We're gonna wrap it up here, I suppose, because we've said everything there is. We've shit on. Yeah, we've shit on bad movies, we've shit on our own bad movies, and we have given you a hint of what's to come in the future. So, it's been fun.
Again, right back at you.
We've gone on for a long time, but we kind of have to wrap it up after 2 hours. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for joining me once again.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, and for Osama and Hitler and whoever else was in the chat, if you want to come back, I'm going to be streaming again this Sunday. We're doing another news show with me and Danielle today. We're supposed to do those news shows on Fridays, but it's the middle of summer, so there's a lot of like blockbuster movies coming out that we want to watch. So we're going to be shooting another news show on Sunday, and
Sunday.
Exactly, and hopefully next Monday there's going to be another live stream about, I don't know, actually, I haven't planned that far ahead, but you're of course welcome back if you want to, if I figure something out.
Yeah, thanks. I think I'm working next Monday.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe like I said,
I can.
I haven't planned that far ahead, so
maybe I can get fired by then.
Yeah, that's probably better.
So I can podcast full time.
Yes.
Oh well.
But yeah, let's talk more about that off air.
Yeah.
How we're gonna get you fired. So yeah, thanks to everyone that watched. We actually had some viewers this time. Thanks to Osama. Thanks to Hitler. Thanks to Black Idiot or whatever his name was. Idiot Boy. Yes, and and to all you watching in the archive version, thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in this Sunday to watch the news show, the news stream. But until then,